Hey everybody, here for Real Housewives Season 8, Episode 12. So this episode was a bit of a snooze fest. You want to say hi? This episode was a bit of a snooze fest. Okay. I was like pretty much bored with it. It was just really blah. But okay, girl. But yeah, like it was annoying. It was boring. It was just whatever. So Candy and Todd are discussing preparing for the baby, and they're asking each other, how do you feel about waking up at certain hours of the morning or the night to change a diaper, to feed him, and Todd is basically like, well, you know, if I get in late, like my shift has to be, so, and I'm like, y'all sitting up here talking about shifts, not knowing that this baby could be unpredictable. You could think that your baby gonna sleep through the night. What, girl? Come over here. You could think all you want to that your baby gonna sleep through the night, and your baby could be the complete opposite. Your baby could be the type that want to stay up all night and sing the song of its people. Your baby could be the type that does sleep for a few hours but then wakes up screaming, hollering. Like, you never know. Like, babies are unpredictable. And I know with me, my son, when I first brought him home, he would wake up like maybe every 5 hours. And then, I'd feed him and then he'd go back to sleep. With my daughter, she would take 15-minute cat naps. And the only way I could get her to sleep was if I nursed her through the night. But any other way, she would take 15-minute cat naps. So I was exhausted every morning, exhausted. So you never know with a baby how your baby is gonna be. Babies are unpredictable. Like their sleep schedules, the first 3 months is like crazy. So you got something to say too? But yeah, so I'm like, why is Ty sitting up here making it seem like he only gonna do, you know, 20% of the work while Candy does the majority? And Candy, they're both hardworking, but I'm like, Candy has a lot on her plate, with stuff she's trying to do. And then on top of that, you stop before you fall. Then on top of that, y'all talking about opening up a family restaurant. y'all are putting way too much on y'all plates, and it's crazy. So they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. The nursery is not prepared. They're meeting with somebody to help them, like help coach them on how to take care of the baby the first few months or whatever. She's teaching them how to swaddle. She's teaching them how to hold the baby, console the baby, change diapers. Because Todd, he wasn't with his daughter when she was a newborn. He didn't get to know her until later on in her life. And Candy, it's been so long since she had a baby, so they're both pretty fuzzy when it comes to parenting. And I'm like, oh, these two are just so adorably clueless. Y'all don't even know what y'all getting yourselves into having this baby. And I can only imagine. I mean, I'm pretty sure they doing it. Like, before you have a baby, you get anxious and you wonder what kind of parent you're going to be. But it's like after you have the baby, your instinct just kicks in. So I'm pretty sure they're fine. Because, they had the baby this month. So I'm pretty sure that they're fine. So, that was that. Phaedra meets up with her lawyer to discuss the divorce, and she says she's ready to go through with the divorce. And her lawyer's like, well, have you given any thought to taking the kids to see him in prison? And Phaedra's like, well, I don't really want to take them to prison because they're so young. I don't want them to be in a room with a bunch of molesters and murderers and all that. And I get that completely. Jail is not a place for children. And I don't like, I mean, I understand you have to take the kids. Like, sometimes it's like nothing else you can do. It's a, I have to so they can see their family sort of thing. But if you absolutely have the choice not to take the kid, I wouldn't advise it either, because it can be emotionally traumatizing for a kid, especially the ages that Aiden and Dylan are. They don't need to be in no prison, especially the prison that Apollo was in. So I feel like Apollo is just gonna have to suck it up and deal with the emails and deal with the phone calls and the letters. And I just feel like Phaedra should let him keep contact like that, because taking them out there is it's not good for children. And I'm speaking that on a personal experience. So I feel like them kids should not be nowhere near that prison. Apollo just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it for the next 7 years. So while each of the ladies are out and about and on their way, Kim sends like this group voicemail message, basically inviting the ladies to a brunch, a beatless brunch, where she wants them to come with little to no makeup, and it's not like an insult to them wearing makeup, but she just wants them to come to show off their natural beauty and to embrace their natural beauty, not like they're not already beautiful. Everybody else is like, okay, here come Kenya. Really, bitch? I'm like, see, you the only one that got offended. Everybody else is like, oh, okay, this don't sound like a bad idea. You the only one got offended. So when everybody's on their way to the brunch or whatever, they I wish you would get that. Stop before you hurt yourself. I'm sorry. So while they're on their way, everybody is meeting up at Kim's house. Kim is getting the food prepared and everything. So everybody arrives. Sheree comes. Sheree was barefaced. And Phaedra came with a light makeup and her eyelashes on. Portia came with a full face of makeup because she was coming from work. Um, Cynthia came with, I think, little makeup on, but she did have her lashes on. Did I say Sheree already? I think I did. But yeah, basically everybody came prepared. Candy was in the car. Candy had no makeup on. Kenya gonna come with a face full of makeup, and Candy is like, "Did you not get the memo that you're not supposed to wear makeup?" And she's like, "Well, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm not gonna go somewhere where I'm told um what to do." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, pause. Let's rewind this because when Portia came to your party for Black Icons and movies, you damn near had security beat her down to get her out of your event because she didn't follow your instructions. But it's okay for you to go to to Kim's event and not follow her directions. And then the directions wasn't even an insult. What is the problem with not wearing makeup? That shows how insecure you are. And Kenya, you mad for no reason. First of all, you don't like Kim because Kim calls you on your BS, and that's the bottom line. You don't like that Kim doesn't sugarcoat you or pat you on the back because of you going through what you going through with your mother. Kim calls you on your BS. That's why you don't like Kim. So my whole thing is, it's okay for you to go to somebody's event and not acknowledge the directions that they gave you, but when Portia did it, it was a big problem. When Portia came as Dorothy Dandridge as opposed to Halle Berry and Babs, it was a big problem. And this is what I mean with Kenya and her unfairness. She could dish it, but she can't take it. She could do stuff, but don't do it to her. Oh, it's the end of the world if you do it to Kenya. But anyway, so she gets there or whatever, and they're all sitting there and they're eating or whatever. And first of all, her and Candy was in the car talking about Kim, and I'm like, this is, well, it wasn't really so much as Candy. Candy was just telling her, well, if she throw a shot at you, throw it back at her. But I'm like, Kim is not gonna do that. Kim is not the type that's gonna start with you for no reason. Kim is gonna finish, and that's what I've seen. So, Kenya's talking about her hair and her makeup and all this other stuff, and I'm like, Kenya, my God, when you have to talk about other people to feel better about yourself, that shows the type of character you have. So they get to the brunch or whatever. Everybody's eating, and they're all talking about DC and Detroit and everything. So now we finally get down to the nitty gritty. Kim is just giving them directions. Hey, I want you to write about natural beauty in your book, your notebook, and your pen that I got. Kenya took this opportunity to address Kim and say, I felt like it was an insult because you told us not to come with makeup. And, and Kim was like, it wasn't meant to be that at all. She's like, makeup enhances your beauty. I just wanted us to come and embrace our natural beauty. It was no shade in it at all. She's like, well, I feel insulted. And Kim was like, okay. And Kenya's like, so we're going to be dismissive with it? And she's like, no, I'm just swallowing my food. I'm like, exactly, Kim. That's right. Tell her. So she gave all the ladies like gift bags or whatever. And they went on about their way. So Cynthia, she's like, well, I hope I can meet up with you guys so we can come to an understanding of who's gonna direct and who's gonna produce my eyewear commercial. So Kenya had said something. So when Kim closed the door, Kim was like, yeah, but I've done 300, 200, 300, footages, like episodes of shows and whatnot. When you do that much, then we could talk. I was like, yes, Kim, yes. I would have preferred you said it when she was standing there, but it would have started an argument, so I understand. But yes, Kim. I was like, pull out them credentials, because at least we got it. At least your receipts is on file. We still don't know what Kenya has done. The most I know Kenya has done is like these low budget bootleg straight to DVD movies that nobody really cares about. But yes, Kim, yes. So Cynthia and Kim meet up, and well, at the dinner, Cynthia said that she wanted to do her commercial on location, and Peter gave her the idea to do it in Jamaica because he has something to take care of in Jamaica. He invited her along, so Cynthia made it a girls' trip. So Cynthia and Kim meet up to discuss what kind of commercial they want to do, and Kim came up with a storyboard um commercial where there's regular people on the beach and they're walking and they don't have their shades on, and then as soon as they put on Cynthia's eyewear, her shades, it goes from the beach to the red carpet, and then when they take them off, it goes back to the beach, and then when they put them back on, it goes to the red carpet. So I thought her idea was pretty cute, and I think she got that idea from like an episode she did of Living Single. I can't remember because I watched Living Single when I was younger, but I don't really remember the episodes like that. But somebody did say it was like a replica of the episode with Khadijah and Regine is going up for the same account. Like they were like in a bit of a competition or whatever. But I thought her idea was cute. She came prepared. She came professional. And Cynthia called Kenya to find out where she was. Kenya's like, oh, I had some stuff to do with the house. I won't be able to make it. So, after she hung up, Kim was like, well, life twirls on. I was like, you better read Kim Phil's Freeman. So they're sitting there discussing it, and Cynthia is like, do you think you and Kenya will be able to get together and collaborate? And she's like, I don't mind working with somebody. I've been in this business forever. I cannot tell you that I won't work with someone, but what I won't do is be in a negative environment and have negative energy around me, because that's not, girl, you okay? That's not how I operate. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, see, I mean, even though Kenya is her friend, I would have just went with Kim because Kim was professional. Kim came prepared. Kim already had the ideas and she's ready to go. What has Kenya done for you? Kim is professional. Kenya is, about drama, and that's what it is. And then she's at the house with Matt. Now, Matt, I like Matt for her. Matt is some serious, serious scrumdiddlyumptious eye candy. Oh my God, that's a fine man. So, they're talking, and I'm glad that him and her talking, and he's pulling her out of her shell. And maybe, just maybe, this is her husband. And, he's like, so this house is for what? And she's like, well, this house is where I see my future kids, my family. This is where I see myself spending the rest of my life. And he's like, well, you got anybody in particular you want to do that with? She said, there's a certain somebody, a tall chocolate man who got my attention right now. And he's wooing me little by little. And he's like, well, enough talking about him. Let's talk about me. I was like, Matt, you better. He's so fine. But yeah, so it basically ended on the note of Kim and Cynthia discussing the commercial and discussing working with Kenya. Now, like I said, this episode wasn't all that. But next episode, like, it's gonna be crazy because they're gonna be in Jamaica. Kim and Kenya finally, go back and forth. Nene, I guess, was invited to take the place of Candy on the trip because Candy is like a gazillion months pregnant. After a certain amount of time in your pregnancy, you can't travel, you can't go out the country. So, Nene comes on the trip, and we're gonna see how that goes because Sheree is on the trip too, and we all know Nene. Get down. We all know Nene and Sheree's history. So, I mean, this episode look like it's gonna pick up because this episode tonight was boring, but yeah, it was okay for what it was. So that was season 8, episode 12. You guys let me know how you liked it. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you guys next video. Later.